Meeting is live streamed. Done. Directing you to YouTube. Check. Okay. Now coming back to you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We have on the second episode now, the second time around, a skit coming for you. And I'm really excited about this skit. I'm gonna let you know off the rip that I am primarily moderating this skit, in the sense we're holding space for Sharaka. Sharaka is a Leo rising, so go ahead and welcome her on that Leo rising space. I'm going to be in the background, like I said, again, moderating in the comments. This is a playoff of like humans just being silly and being literally like a moment to allow us to laugh at what has happened in the last 2 years, not from a place of disrespect, but from a place of enlightenment, being able to use comedy to help us in this process of converging the densities, okay, converging realities, and just understanding that, you know, especially on your own personal spiritual journey, that you really don't have to take things so serious. So this is Sharaka going to be presenting us this Leo rising inspiration, and I'm going to call it exactly that, Leo rising inspiration, a skit to laugh about human intelligence. And that's my fun playoff, calling it intelligence in the moment. So Sharaka, before we even let you get into the skit of it, can you tell us what has inspired you to want to take this creative outlet as an expression?
The whole energy of what I'm seeing and how people aren't really aware of how silly they look with these masks on in their house or in their car by themselves, riding around, just looking crazy, literally.
Because I heard you say, I heard you mention it one time, like why be in a car and have to choke yourself or some shit like that. Like, I'm joking when I say it like that, but oh my God. Okay, here we go. Look at, I didn't even know you could do that. Is that really one of these virtual things?
Yes.
Oh snap. I had no idea. That's funny. Okay, so, and I get in trouble like every day because I live in like a, I don't know, you want to call it a higher quality building, and my security, it's sending me Airbnb messages like, we're going to kick you out if you don't wear your mask walking by the front desk. And I'm like, bro, how can you tell me that when my security is not wearing their mask? Like, I got to walk by them every day. So if they're not wearing their mask, what are you talking about? Like, and they're the ones snitching on me. So that's the wildest part, right? Like, it's crazy. But
and then what is it really going to do though, the mask? Like, the masks are so thin, and then half the time people have worn them more times than they should be worn, and they're not effective for something so small. If we consider a virus, it's going to be so small that it's going to get through the holes in the mask. Like, you need a gas mask for what they act like it is, like literally. So it's really crazy to me.
So ultimately, like, on a deeper level, what has inspired this? What made you want to take, because I know that you're an educator. You are naturally someone here to enlighten us. We know you're a Virgo with a Pisces moon and a Leo rising. Okay, that's a powerhouse all within itself. So, you know, what about your personal journey has led you to be able to take such a light approach on something that the world has considered so globally important? What has inspired this as a whole?
I'm trying to find a way to not be so disheartened by the fact that literally almost everyone in my family has, taken this jab. So it's like, wow, when you consider some of the implications or some of the backlash from it, that's kind of scary. It's like being left in the world all alone. So, to kind of lighten the load for myself, so to speak, and then even find a way myself to maybe get across to my family how, obviously awkward and unnecessary some of this stuff is, and some of the measures that they're going through, considering the history of this whole concept itself in terms of vaccinations. Like, literally, that is kind of crazy. Like, cut yourself and put some of somebody else's pus in your damn hand and in your finger and see if, if you have the same symptoms they have. And if you do, if you survive, if your immune system is strong enough, and then considering putting it in babies as soon as they're born, instead of giving them the cell salts that would give them the other portion of their necessary energy and that they need to survive this plane. This is the place to be, I tell you. Especially these human
That's dope.
bodies.
I got people already in the comments talking about some Sages that I know out here. And Sag, they already see the truth from the jump. They already saw way ahead of the whole program. Already talking about, oh my God, it's about to be funny as shit. And that kind of makes me want to say, like, hey, look, anybody of you that's out there with a creative talent, there are two things I want to say moving forward. One, if you want to come and have a moment to be featured on the line, and you have a certain talent, a certain way to make the world laugh, a certain way to enlighten the world, whether anything in the face of spirituality, astrology, numerology, or like today, Secret's looking to take a different approach and do comedy, okay, through the truth. And I think the truth is funny. I think we as humans have to laugh at the truth, or at least the truth that's presented, to be able to survive, with humor.
Comical.
Exactly. So what I want to say is, if there are two things. One, I've been backdoor building a community of energetic healers. So if you want to kind of be like a resident healer, if you will, on the staff and like learn about what the benefits of that might look like. As my channel continues to spread, this is part of my Aquarius type mission where all of you have different skills, talents, and abilities that I do not, and that I never will. And that if I tried, I would look foolish because I have my own skill set. One of those skill sets is to be able to feature you. So as we kind of like, I'm gonna switch to the gallery for the moment. And what I want to say is thank you for those thumbs up. Drop the thumbs up, definitely, for sure. Embrace yourself for, I've heard a little bit of the skit prior, so embrace yourself to actually take a moment to laugh, lighten the load, especially with all of our nervous systems being a lot more heightened, sleep being something we're not necessarily sleeping very well because we have an eclipse coming, as our bodies go through this genetic and DNA upload of a new hardware system, making us feel so much more worthy and valid to express our creativity, which is what is also leading Sharaka here to have the confidence and be bold enough to talk about some of the most detrimental, scary, and frightening topics that you can ever mention on the internet without somebody putting you in a body bag somewhere. You feel me? So it's like, as we take a moment to laugh, thank you for that thumbs up. On the 30th, on the eclipse, I want you to check the 10 comments. I'm running yoga, I'm hosting yoga, and I'm also going to be helping you create your own spiritual blueprint, okay, about what does running your own personal spiritual business, whether it's in astrology, numerology, whatever it is. I'm going to help you all to create a way where you can actually monetize your own personal passion, because that's also part of my mission among the many. And one of them is to help you realize, like, you can't work anymore. And I need you to know that you can't work. I need you to believe that you can't work by actually seeing your bank account reflect that you can't work for somebody else other than your creativity, other than your passions. It is done. It is out.
To work hard anyway. We came here to experience.
To experience what? Elaborate on that, because I know you got the gems. Elaborate.
Actually, with the women, the spirits in the female bodies, we came here to experience the birth of the goddess energy, and or the essence of the goddess energy, and the spirits in the male bodies. You all came here to explore it. Like, I can only imagine how you guys feel, like, just kind of considering my boyfriend. He's just like, ooh, like, and he's like, oh, and I'm really not necessarily like that. So he's like, oh, your legs, and oh, man, I'm just like, wow, like, never really thought about my legs like that or whatever. So I'm like chicken. He like, baby. So I'm like, wow. But yeah, the guys came here to explore it, to explore the feminine energy, that they don't have that full embodiment of like the women do. And then, of course, the goddess essence does contain that divine masculine as well. So we discovered it, and you guys get to explore it.
Wow. Okay. So here's what I would like to do. You got people in the comments already showing you love. I thank you all for those thumbs up. Obviously, check the event on Saturday. I'll drop in there the email list as well. And I'm dropping down Sharaka's link. She has a podcast where she, like I said, she's a Virgo and she's spitting the truth. She's spitting the raw facts daily, consistently on her podcast. And they're nice, digestible episodes. So while she starts talking, I'll get those links and be putting those in there as well. I have some of the ones you put in the Facebook Messenger last time. I'll use some of those links to your podcast. So that said, thank you all for those thumbs up. I want you to give Sharaka the respect to listen to how this skit plays out, where we get to make fun of silly little humans and remind ourselves that we are all walking, living, breathing organisms, being gods in human form, okay? Here for a mission, for a directive, okay? We're not just here to play, but we do get to, as this convergence happens, we get to play and have fun, because I really do believe that humor allows us to be here on this planet and just chill out a little bit and realize that there's not really much to do, but there's a whole lot to experience. So Sharaka, show us the strength in your Leo rising as number one for the whole collection, for the crowd. Show us the crowd pleasing. You have a name for your skit?
Alternative to the Rona, laughter.
Boom, here we go. Here's a Leo rising in the making. The scene is all yours.
Okay, y'all, go here with me in your mind and envision this. A mom laying in her bed with the mask on, talking on the phone to a friend. She says, "Child, I'll be glad when all this mess is over. Hell, I'm tired of looking up at the vents to see if this mess is seeping in through my damn AC unit." The friend moves the phone away from her ear and looks at the device awkwardly and says, "Are you still wearing that mask in the house?" Then shakes her head and rests her head in the palm of her hand. The mom looks unbothered and says in a fast-paced voice, "Hell yeah, and you should too. And don't bring your ass over here without yours on. And I got a new touchless thermometer at the door, so let me let you know you will be screamed before you bring your ass up in here. You hear me?" The friend, "Really? Your ass is tripping. I thought you was so woke, but now you believe in that bullshit. Now, I'm questioning if you really got faith." Mom sits up in the bed and says angrily, "Oh, now you're questioning my faith, huh? You know what? Since I've been woke, the whole damn world been tripping. Y'all not gonna fuck this up for me. I've been waiting my whole life to wake up, and I ain't gonna let y'all ruin it for me with your coughing and your running nose ass kid. Sure ain't. Hell, as soon as I get my shit together, the world want to shut down." Looks up. Mom looks up. "God, they fucking with me right now. See," and she sees the vent and remembers paranoidly the shit might be seeping in. "Child, let me go for that shit being it start coming through the damn phone." Friend, "Girl, bye." Mom hangs up the phone and says, "Hell nah, y'all got me jacked up. I'm gonna enjoy my new wokeness. Hell, I think it looks good on me. What y'all think?" That's the first one. Oh my.
So let's take a moment. Let's take a moment in between to just reflect on what just happened, what you just said. You basically just brought us through, in a sense, the evolution of where we all started in the beginning of let's say, the Rona, to the middle, to the end, where people start off in the panic, thinking that they would never have certain adjustments, certain adaptation, to find themselves, almost seemingly overnight, feeling like, oh damn, I never thought I'd be this woke, and now that I am, it's like y'all wanna let me see if I got this. Y'all wanna hold me back. Y'all wanna like take that woke from me in a sense. Elaborate on it outside of the skit form before you move to the second one. What did you want for the people to get from that particular skit?
Seeing the relationship that people have with each other, and how especially with this whole woke movement, like people in the next one will really further elaborate on this. Like, it's crazy hilarious too, but like this whole wokeness thing, you know, and then just consider you woke, but you got this mask on, and then you checking to see the shit coming through your vents in your house. Like, seriously, where the hell else is it coming from? If you at your house with the mask on, like, this shit's just crazy. Like, so, you know, then having a friend that's trying to express to you that, you know, so clearly you tripping, you know what I'm saying? And you said you woke, so why you believing this, all this crazy madness? So it's like, something like like there's a link missing in your brain somewhere. Like it's not the synapses aren't getting a good fire across them.
Right. Wow. So, okay. So this is what's happening. And it brings us kind of to the next skit. As I do that, I just dropped in the chat our Divine Rights, the podcast. I should have put podcast in there, but this is Sharaka Miller here coming as a Leo rising, okay, as a Virgo with all the facts, being able to use her performance abilities as a Leo rising to bring suffering to a point of release, okay, which is emotionally important to a Pisces moon. So I wanted to kind of like just shoot some of those little things out there of like what is happening, as complex as it is, what's really still going on. It's not just the simplicity of like making fun of humans or what's happening globally in the world, but to bring relief to the suffering through performance, okay? Through the facts and the real life facts that y'all should check the other live we did. I'm gonna take a moment when you do your next skit to find our other live. I'm gonna post in the chat because that's where like we weren't in skit format and we were just ripping the internet apart. We were just throwing out all the things that were hidden about governments, societies, as well as the occult and mysticism, and bringing those things to clear format so that you can understand it in a digestible way. So this time around, we're doing it more in a comedic way where we're able to really talk the truth, bring the facts, but also the relief from how you have been suffering from all the narratives, media, financial, and otherwise. So hit us with the second skit as y'all throw those thumbs up. Check in the chats for her podcast. I'm going to drop in the description and she's going to run her second skit. Here we go.
Okay. Now, when I'm saying mom, this is the perspective of an older woman, maybe mid-30s, and then her mom, who she's on the phone with in the beginning. So the younger mom says, hello. Her mom says, hello. And she says, I'm woke now. And her mom says, okay, good. Now you can come over here and take me to the grocery store. And she says, what? Not woke, not that kind of woke. I'm talking about talking to God and walking barefoot outside and stuff. You know, her mom says, child, look, I wanted you to call me when you woke up because I need to ride to the damn store. What the hell you talking about? Is you okay over there? You ain't got that shit, do you? Because if your ass sick, don't bring your ass over my house with that bullshit, girl. I ain't playing with your ass. And she says, ain't nobody got no sickness going on. I'm trying to open up to you about my spiritual journey. And here you go tripping. Her mom says, look, I'm just trying to get a ride to the damn grocery store so your ass can leave here talking about, and you can stop talking about seeing spirits and shit, walking up and down the street barefoot. Go wash your damn feet before you bring your dirty foot ass over here. And I got my touch just a moment at the door for your ass too. She hangs up saying damn fool over here talking to herself and shit. I hope she don't bring that shit over here, Lord. She gets down on her knees and begins praying. Lord, help her. She says she calling on you. Let her know I love her. I done took her to church all our life. Why she tripping, Lord? Please let her know before she get here, because I might not let her in. And then I don't care how bad I need to go to the store and get some ham hocks for my greens. Lord, her ass will be out there knocking, because I don't want that bullshit, Lord. Please help her. Love, always and forever. Sincerely, your daughter-in-law, Eula Mae Jean Hathaway Jr. Amen and amen again. Then she does the Hail Mary cross in front of her chest and looks around to see if anybody saw her, but she ain't home by herself. Then the daughter said, see, this is what I'm talking about right here. Folks tripping with me for nothing. Can't even express myself. Coach said I should open up and be more relatable. And she looks up. God, you said love thy neighbor. And since my mama lived next door, I thought I'd tell her about it. What can I do to let the world know I'm woke? Lord, please let me know before I go over here. Because if she tripping when I get over there, I ain't taking her nowhere. She ain't gonna be in my, she ain't about to possess me in my car. I already got to be checking the vents to see if the mess seeping in through my AC unit in my car, seeping in through the AC unit in my house. I can't live like this, Lord. Please help me, Lord. I'm lost and found. Then she goes into the Holy Ghost dance and starts singing. Spirit done turn me upside down. Who shall I lumba? Shaka man. The kids in the background shaking their head. The mom starts doing nightclub dancing. She recognized the kid and says, "What?" Then goes back to finish her prayer. P.S. Lord, if you do these things for me, I'll be ever so mindful to give only you the praise. And I'll wear my mask and take all the booster shots you send. Sincerely signed, Eula Mae Jean Hathaway III. Oh my God.
I said, let me know, and I'll wear my mask and take all the booster shots.
They had to come guy.
So yo, the part that got me was, I'm lost and found.
Get out this box.
I said, I'm lost and found. So okay, outside the skit, break down this particular format. You know, what did you want the audience to learn and know and be inspired to, you know, experience from this second skit you just did?
The relationship between the mothers and the daughters nowadays, like the older generations, was like one thing I heard was that and during my generation, it was like one of the first generations where the parents didn't particularly want better for their children than they had for themselves, almost in a jealous type sense, but in a bit angry and like. And then this whole concept of the church and how God gonna save us and Lord Jesus, and like it's just this whole thing of mixing these concepts together, and then with everything going on, it's just like just being scared of, like, really, like some shit just too darn paranoid, like to the point you can't even really have a true dialogue where you express how you're growing spiritually, or you're awakening to the awareness of who you are and how you fit into this narrative here. And it's just like like, when can we really get to have this real true dialogue that helps the mother understand what she may have missed, and then helps the daughters be able to express it to where they can feel confident in themselves and how they've grown, and have the ability to continue on that journey going forward, knowing they've got the support from their parents.
So what you wanted people to get mostly from this is really to be able to bridge the gap within the immediate family, where there's been previously a new form of the modern Jim Crow, right? Like, which is no longer black and white versus just global. We like, look, we just need division. We don't need division from a certain race to a race. We just need division because it's really good for profit. So what I'm kind of hearing is, by us, part of this skit, you were helping to really re-bridge the gap that was created as a part of the divide of one of the consequences of the breaking families apart, separating generations from, hey, this level of crazy and this level of sanity needs to stay separate. And so you're looking to really fuse it again so that mothers, daughters, or even people in the immediate family can stop having so much turmoil in their family dinners and more division. Is that what I'm really kind of hearing? Trying to bring it back together where we have a ground where we can sit, commune, laugh, and just get back to actually what do family values mean.
Exactly. Especially with them ham hocks and them greens, because honey, I just want to go to the store.
That's why I love the fact that if y'all don't know, I don't know people where y'all from in the world. I want you, if you're watching this, type your city, type your country, type your state, where you're from in the world. What makes this also so much funnier to me is, like, I'm obviously familiar with, my family is from the South. I got a big chunk from Louisiana, and Sharaka's down in, I believe, Arkansas. So it's like, she got that Southern flavor on it, talking about the food, the ham hocks, the yams, yams, tomatoes, greens, yams, tomatoes, you name it. So it has a certain level of flavor to me. If you're new watching this, definitely like this, thumbs up. Saturday on the lunar eclipse in Taurus, I'm running a yoga event, also helping you to create your own spiritual blueprint to monetize your passion. If you know you're a real out here and you're not really utilizing spirituality in a way for just to make money, like I need more people that are actually serious and genuine about their teachings to be the ones making the chicken, quite frankly, only so that you can feel confident enough to teach more effectively and through a sense of longevity that brings security that you can do this. You don't have to keep watching other leaders who you don't even fully believe in when you know you were the one with the sauce. And that's one of the reasons why this event is coming, so you feel stable and safe enough to take those new ventures that build on top of something stable. So that's happening on Saturday. The link is pinned at the top of the comments. Take a moment to vote. Obviously, drop your thumbs up. And I want to address Sir Jai Mito. I've been watching you on the Peace Dealers channel. Shout out to Peace Dealer. Thank you. I appreciate you. Checked that segment last night. But for now, I also have the last live. I dropped it in the chat here that I did with Sharaka, less in the comedic sense, but more of like, she was giving out so many gems. It was like, if anything was funny, it was funny because it was natural. It wasn't part intention. And we were just dropping out everything that Pluto in Capricorn is coming to a close. Why? What was happening in front of our face, but behind the scenes? We broke all that up. She's a Virgo. She had all the receipts, and she's a Leo rising. So she was dramatic enough and bold enough to put that information out there. Like, if y'all gonna come for me, then come, chicken. So, but ultimately with the Pisces moon that she has, she's here, and it's important for her soul to actually bring relief to all the suffering that's happening globally. So understand that part of this is not necessarily to make fun of anyone who got the jab, who didn't get the jab, who fell victim to the narrative or the Rona, but for us to come back to a center where comedy can be used as one of the best medicines. So understand that as well, that's why part of this is happening. This is the natural medicine. When you go to the doctor and they give you laughing gas, what are they giving you? Laughing gas. Why? Because it helps you to manage the pain in a natural way, right? So, Sharaka, I want to give you the stage for this third skit as you bring it out, and I'm going to keep this rhythm going. I'm really having fun.
Okay, this scene is that a mom laying in her bed with the mask on, dozing off, nods a few times, and jumps up. These kids is too quiet in here. Let me see what they up to. Gets out of bed, grabs a robe and puts it on, slides her feet into her house shoes, and goes flopping into the hallway down to the living room. When she reaches the living room, her eyes get wide. She runs over to the kids, shaking them vigorously, saying, "Wake up, y'all done fell asleep without these masks on. Get y'all butt up and put these damn masks on before y'all be to let that mess up in here. If y'all let that mess up in here, y'all butt gotta go. Because I ain't about to get that mess up in here." I didn't expand on that too much more. I just left it there. I didn't want to go too deep with the kids because my son was like, "Mama, wow, really?" And I was like, okay, I understand. But like, I could see these parents and these kids, and the kids like, what the world? Like getting woke up out of their sleep because you fell asleep without your mask on. Like, I need to wear it when I'm asleep too, Mama. Like, really?
You know what's interesting that I hear as well with that? It's like when people are wearing the CPAP to go to bed because they've ingested so many different hormones through foods that have been altered genetically, where literally, they're snoring and they can't breathe appropriately, right? They have all of these diagnoses about why this asthma or this respiratory ailment requires them to be accustomed to sleeping with this CPAP. And it's like, in reality,
too, like a gas mask. Like,
it's completely
like
it's on another level. It's almost like it's been prepping people to go into like deep cryostasis or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, for us to just be these zombies that, we get used to hooking up at night to go into let's say virtual reality, maybe one of the next things, to just get hooked up overnight. Can you imagine now we're spending our dream world in the virtual reality, separating us from our imagination. I could see stuff like that having already been prepped, where, you know, somebody might have really fell asleep with their mask. I'm sure it has happened. Okay. Somebody, or the CPAP as a part of the alternative. Understand that all things spiritual, unseen, invisible, there's a way that it has to manifest in our physical world. We have to understand that. So if they can get you to do that in the physical, they can get you to trick you and believe that you're still there in the spiritual, right? Through those dreams, through that sleep. So you have to be very mindful that through this comedy, there's always multiple layers and alternative motives that are also being played out. So you have to think beyond what is being told and start thinking for yourself, which is one of the reasons why we have the title on this, Silly Little Humans. You know, think for yourself. Take the moment to take inventory on what is real for you, not what is being presented as real for everybody. I want to just see what's happening with, I got some people saying, what might they do for a skit? So as a Leo rising, you're inspiring people. I have other Leo rising. I see Fatima Faith in here. Shout out to you coming in about, like, she's a Leo rising as well, but also saying, I like the idea like a paint a rock with a heavy, with am I drunk right now? I need glasses on my glasses. Idea like, yo, I feel like I was trying to zoom in. I'm like, wait, I'm already wearing my glasses. Idea like paint a rock with a heart and lay them randomly. If everyone did this and picked them up and traveled to a different place, and they know that love is real, I'm loving it already.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I can see that.
Yeah, I just got it. Love is real. I got the picture. I thank you for sharing that, because you might have inspired some. You heard her say, oh yeah. And on my magic board over there, I have different rocks that are colored in different colors on my magic board. And it's kind of happening around a bonfire, and we have other, like, people playing drums. And I'm not going to show you, because I've learned that people are not all nice as I would like for them to believe. And I'm not going to let y'all ruin my vision. So fuck off. Okay. So
I actually saw that live that you did the other day, and like I was all like, because I kind of feel like I know you a little, so I'm just like, oh, he's expressing his heart, like, you know, like pouring his heart out. I'm like, oh wow, like it was kind of it was different for me to experience that and see you being kind of sensitive to your emotional side and expressing it to the world. I was like, oh wow.
I know it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's real.
It was beautiful. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. You know, Pisces moon at its 20th degree. I woke up sensitive as fuck. I was like, oh shit, my emotions have the front center today. I was like, this is what it is. Like, and I just felt so inspired. Like I had to say something right then and there about what the feel was. So thank you. Take a moment again. I'm gonna type it. I'm gonna press copy paste, bang, to check out a different time frame. The actual live that Sharaka had did about Pluto and Capricorn and the power moves that have been made right in front of your face. Understand that today's more about comedy, and I'm going to give you the stage for your next skit.
Okay. The kids are coming home, and they walk into the door. The mom stops them saying, hold on. Let me check y'all out. Grabs her touchless thermometer and puts it to the head of the first child. Comes back normal. She shakes it, hits it on her hand. Points it at the child again. Okay, I guess you passed. Points it at the second child. Comes back normal. She looks at the child. Points it at him again. Okay, you passed too. Now get y'all butt off up in here before y'all be let it up in here. Close my door. She puts the thermometer down and says, now let me see what y'all numbers was. She points at the first child. 97.8. You look cool. Think you cool? Okay. Check the second child's numbers. 98.9. You kind of high. Are you feeling all right? Is you sick? Where you been? What you eat today? Don't start lying. Tell me what you ate. Okay. That's good. At school, they gave you 2. This baby might be sick. Child, go in there, lay down. Put the mask back on. Don't take it off when you come in the house. Don't take it off when you go outside. Keep it on all the time. Did you hear me? It could be in events. It could be to school. Could be anywhere. Keep your mask on all the time. Anywhere you go, no questions asked. I'm your mama. You think I'm gonna lie to you? I'm telling you. You see me? I got my mask on. I'm wearing my mask. I'm in the house. I'm wearing my mask in the car. I'm wearing my mask when we walk down the street. Keep your mask on. That's it. Nothing more. Gosh, these kids.
Wow. I heard a lot of things in that. One, I heard about the reverse engineering of how we are 98% of this subconscious programming acting and behaving in ways that was programmed before we had a choice, right? Before we were old enough, wise enough to make our own decision, childhood already snatched away, right? You're forced to go to church because your family went to church, or you're forced to be in I don't know why I'm getting like Bible study, because it's just what it's always been, right? Outside of religion, it's like, oh, you have a broke, poor mindset because every time you went to the store, your mom or your dad would say something like, oh, we can't afford that, rather than
touch nothing in this store.
Don't touch nothing in the
I
store.
ain't got no money for number what we coming to get.
No, but we're coming to get. You see what I'm saying? So what I just heard was the programming, how it's already happening from our subconscious when we were youth, but also how it's being reinforced as adults. And that's kind of what I just heard right there about, what's funny when you had said, tell me what you ate. And it made me laugh because, mind you, food, calories is just heat, right? It's heat that has to be processed and broken down. So when you said that, I noticed here that I haven't really eaten meat in a long time. My body doesn't really do well with it. But here I could eat picadillo. I think it's like, I don't even know. I think it might be like ground up beef or something, but a specific type of beef that I don't remember. And I could eat picadillo, it's Spanish, I'm in Mexico, but it doesn't give me like diarrhea or like an upset gut. However, it makes me so hot. And I wasn't recognizing that. It takes so much for my body to break that meat back down that it has to heat up. And I'm already in Aries. So I'm a lot of Aries, Leo, and Sag. So like, I'm already hot. So I didn't realize like I was overheating and I didn't have ways to cool down, but I didn't get that. It's because my body took way more energy to heat up the meat to break it back down. So me, I'm over here worrying about like, oh, well, I haven't eaten meat in so long, primarily because I can't digest it. So it's like, it would just come out like water. So I wouldn't eat it. So now I find meat that I can eat. And I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, now I'm like trying to eat. I'm eating it all the time. I'm like, yeah, fucking $1 tacos, baby. Like, let's do it. Literally like $1 tacos, let's do it. But my body was like, nah, dog, like you literally will cut off 5 more hours of your day because of how hot you are. You need to go rest. And it would take me out of my game. It would take so much. So when you said, what did you eat? And they had the fact of heating up, this just, again, look at the experiences that were being delivered through a crisis. So let's just say, for instance, this entire skit has formed from a pandemic, from a crisis, right? But what has it really done? It's not teaching us anything. It's helping us remember the more natural forms of our body through this experience of like, oh, what's your temperature? Oh, you're heating up. What did you eat? So that's kind of what I heard. That was really like from an experience to remember, not learn, but to remember for all of us as a collective and spiritual consciousness, one consciousness, that, food takes a certain breakdown process. Heating your body up to a certain extent will also fry, certain mental processes that doesn't allow you to think clearly.
When we eat our food, we think about it as going down our throat and into our stomach, but actually what we eat goes up and it's processed through our brain first before coming down to be pooped out or whatever, and it's crazy. Like you wouldn't even expect that, but that's why some of our heads are so big too. Like some of it gets stuck. I'm just like, but like we have to process everything through the mental before it does anything else in the body. And you just think about it, like even our vital source of energy that's being expressed through our pineal gland, it's going down our spine and coming back up. Like everything is taking this process to go through the body. And the Jacob's ladder, those 33 steps of the spine, the 33rd degree Masons, You know what I'm saying? Like this whole concept of what we've known has been happening all the time, and we all have known about it because we're all a part of it. But this whole concept of the occult and the hidden and the mysticism behind everything, you like when you think about Noah's Ark and like all these different concepts we hear in the Bible, like these things are happening within us. It's not something that's literal where you need to go looking for this boat out in the Grand Canyon saying it must have been here because it's the only place it could fit. Like, what the hell? Yeah, two of everything. Like, really? You know, it's just crazy how we really have like moved away from finding the answers within and started looking for the things in the external world to explain the message that we've been given from man. Like, if somebody wrote this, apparently they were thinking it, so they want to express it how they saw it. You know, like if somebody were reading these skits later on and it wasn't us here in this format saying, you know, that this is, they were like, oh my God, why would this lady be doing that to those kids? Like, you know, or why is the mom saying that? Or, you know, kind of crazy. But
I got a question for you in between before you hit your next skit. This came from Earl. Earl, what's up? Shout out to you. He actually booked an AstroTherapy session with me one-on-one. I'm going to be meeting him. It's funny because I had the redirect flights from Houston. I got my flight to Miami. I still got to, after this live, buy one from Miami up to Connecticut. So I'm coming home and visit people from home. I never met Earl, but he's from some close to neighborhoods that I've been in and grew up in. So shout out to you. We're going to take that date to do the therapy session live, which is dope. But beyond that, he has a question, Sharaka, that I think you'll like as well. And he says, do y'all think you can go through a subconscious reprogramming through internal circumstances the same way you can go through a subconscious programming through external circumstances? I know, right?
Definitely. Like that's where everything begins in the internal. So when we consider how we have been programmed through the external environment, through TV, through school, through, you know, all these different environments that we come in that we encounter, when we think about this whole internal perception, like closing our eyes, going into a meditation state, or even just falling asleep and going to lucid dreaming, because like I daydream, like people dream in their sleep time. I daydream like that, like I'm having this whole thing going on. And sometimes like I'll be talking to people and I like check out. I'm just like, and you know, I'm like, okay, I'm back. Like, you know, and then I'm back into, you know, what we're doing here in the external, but because I'm building a place inside internally, for one, for me to go when I die, so I can have some things there, and you know, and like, you know, I don't want to die and then be all alone and then being met with all my desires. Like I can only imagine, but you know that's definitely a good question, and I think it's definitely possible for you to change your thought process and actually reconstruct the way you view life, the way you view your external environment, and actually create it to be what you want it to be.
Absolutely. I thank you for that. I really, really do. Everybody that's new in here, like this thumbs up. If y'all been enjoying this skit so far, tell me like what has been the most funny part that you found from this so far. She went through, I think, 3 skits, about to hit number 4. I feel like
that was number 4. No, well, okay, no, yes, that was number 4. I've got 2 more, but let me tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do here because I want to.
And as you say that, Fatima, in the meanwhile, because they're not gonna talk. Only you have it right now. Fatima, you feel like you have, as you were answering to Earl, and Earl has said kind of like same. I think right now that's happening to me while I try to consciously reprogram other patterns, etc. He's like, it's kind of trippy. But, you know, he's kind of going on saying, what's going on? What's up? The more you practice, says Missy, the more you practice and repeat something, the more power you give it. Absolutely. This is also in spell casting. You have to be careful. This is how they spell cast and convince you to spell cast through words, certain words you're using. And that also goes through the programming of the music you listen to, right? So be mindful. It's not always things you're consciously doing. I have a book of superheroes that I flip the page randomly and I read and start to think in my mind that there's more power inside to help me. So So I wanted to kind of do all that. And Fatima, if you're still in here, if you could just express what you feel like, because you said I feel like I have, to Earl, if you can just kind of like help him break that down, unless you want to hit me on the hotline, because I know you got my number. You gave me on the hotline. I dropped you on speaker real quick. Because I've done this.
I was gonna say, me and Fatima, that's my other, my partner in crime for our customer service moderation. Like we're the customer service moderators, being able to be in the chat while you guys are on the live stream and expressing the point that you're coming to bring across to everybody without having to constantly keep checking, but know that you have people that are there that are that you vetted to know that they're expressing the things that you would express in the way you'd express them to keep the people comfortable in the chat, because there's always so much stuff going on in the chat that you're not always able to see every single message. And sometimes people asking questions and like curious about things, especially in this whole spiritual awakening. People have so many questions, and it's like, oh, I asked the question, and you'll probably see the question 3 or 4 times. You're like, dang, did nobody see that? And then you've got people that are there that are kind of going through and seeing those questions that they can be answered by somebody else, not necessarily on the live stream, but they still get that confidence that when they come here to this environment.
Hey, Fatima, 1 second. No, that's really dope, and I really appreciate y'all. I see 88 watching. 88 has been pulling up. The abundance is about to rain on all of us involved. I'm telling you, it's been pulling up for weeks now, and it's just on pause. So I'm loving it. Fatima, you probably just heard Sharaka. One, I hope the both of y'all do come down and meet here. Answer the Life Path 8. Do come down and meet here, because Sharaka's been talking about you, Fatima, a couple of times actually, and she's actually lined up to come to the retreat in Mexico. So I believe y'all two will be meeting. Yeah. You heard her already on the live, so I'm not going to express more. What I will say is, Fatima, if you wanted to elaborate, we can all hear you. I got you on speaker.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Sharaka. It's so nice to be here. I'm always multitasking. It's so funny. Can you hear me?
I can. Sharaka, you can hear her?
Loud and clear. Mm-hmm.
Loud and clear. Boom.
Okay. I have 2 different phones going right now, so I'm like, can you hear me okay? But it's so funny that you say that, that Earl asked that question, because, when I went live with you, we were talking about mental health, and I remember now, in hindsight, I haven't even gone back and watched that live, because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I was talking about, to be honest. But I do now remember you asking me a question about how I have dealt with, the aspects that I've grown up with, being a 3rd house Virgo sun with my Leo moon behind me in the 2nd house, which I learned is a Pisces signature. So it's kind of like I'm blindly walking through this journey. I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. And then I realized, being ruled by Mercury with my sun in the 3rd house, Gemini, it makes the thoughts run a lot faster. And so when he was talking about that internal work, I feel like that's what I've been doing my whole life. It's like constantly reassessing, like, it's like practice makes perfect. It's that Virgo mastery, like keep running these subconscious things over and over, because I'm so aware of my thoughts that it's like, well, that thought is not helping me. And so then it's like I'm constantly doing the internal work, working on the behaviors. And so now I'm just now coming into the upper part of my chart. Everything is at the bottom of my chart. And so now I'm coming into this world, speaking more, meeting people, being more social. So if that makes sense, that's kind of the thing. And it's funny you said Life Path 8. Well, you said 8-8, because I just realized after talking to you yesterday that the time I was born, I don't care about sharing it. I was born at 2:15. That equals 8. I'm a Life Path 8, and my time of birth is 8. So,
dang. I mean, the first thing I get with Life Path 8s is you all are pretty much magnificent at money management. Like the eights, they're like so strategic in using and managing money in a way where it doesn't even have to always be yours, but you're like tremendous at it. It's like, y'all just get money that you don't have to actually do something for. So that's one thing that I've learned, and they're good at really managing it and managing businesses and stuff as well. But even outside of money, like just organization, in this, the management of what details and organizational programs can then result in the basis of how you transmute that energy into bringing you the resources that matter. Hey, what's up, Maurice? I see you here. Earl said he was listening. I think from the energy that he put into it, looks like he really was appreciative of what you said. Fatima, I'm gonna give it back to Sharaka, and I'm gonna say it again. I hope the both of y'all meet down here in Mexico. Huh?
I want to ask her something. Look, were you, by any chance, were you born in the like 80, 81 or something? Because like my chart appears to be kind of set up similar to yours. I was born in 81, but everything is at the bottom of my chart, and my moon is at the top, like a bucket handle, or like I was telling Pernell, like expressing, like maybe pouring the water into this bucket, you know, to flower it, like to water these flowers that are growing here in this whole. Everything is literally from my second house all the way to maybe the fourth house or fifth house, and all of the planets, everything is down there. I'm just like, wow, to see it like that.
Yeah, and that's, I'm glad you said that. Yes, I was born in 82, so we're a year apart. Pluto Libra. And, you know, Pernell was also talking about management, and that was the line of work I did. So all this spirituality, like I had my own spiritual practices, but now it's like I'm learning all this occult knowledge and downloading all this like sacred wisdom and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to like meeting with you, because you said you're a Virgo sun too, right?
Yes, Virgo sun, Pisces moon, second house Virgo sun.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, we definitely connect. I got goosebumps right now.
Yo, you saw me. I was like,
I know,
boom, boom. I was like, oh, I just built the beat. Like there was almost like that Lil Wayne built, let the beat build, and it was like, oh, that's level 1, level 2, level 3. I was like, oh shit, it's a ladder. You talk about 33 ladder, and it just clicked in my head very clear. It was like, oh my God, this is the building blocks. It's literally the building blocks of something that we don't even see yet. If I'm being honest, I know enough to know we don't really see it all the way, but it's the building blocks of something greater happening. Yeah,
I can feel it, like even with Jamie, like we were kind of talking in the chat that on the live when we were talking about being the customer service moderators, and I was just seeing how like these connections. And then Pernell, I want to like just really express my gratitude to you again for holding the space for us and being available for us, you know, like of course, you know, with our contract that we have, it's, you know, it's expressed in that way, but just, you know, you coming here live for free, you know, taking your time to be here for us, to meet with you whenever you go live, or, you know, if you plan to be schedule it, and actually having a place for us to all actually understand what spirituality really means and how we're expressing it through our personal evolution through this journey. And it's like so important to have this place available.
My heart's so happy. It's jumping out of my fucking chest.
Thank you, Pernell. Like, seriously, like, it has fast-tracked things for me. Like, things were picking up, but going live with you, it's like I'm constantly multitasking. Like, I just got off of a meeting, got another thing, like, later on tonight. And so it's just really, really dope that how everything is coming together. And especially, like, the ladies that I've been connecting with. And now with you, Sharika, it's like you see so many commonalities, whether it's, you know, sharing a rising sign or sharing a sun sign, or, you know, being the same generation, Pluto Libra, you know. Y'all Pluto Scorpios have been like charging the way for us, and I'm just so appreciative. And now I'm progressed Scorpio sun, so it's like I'm learning so much from you all, and I'm really, really thankful, and I'm really just blown away at just how life has just gotten so fucking magical.
Yeah,
right, exactly. That's exactly how I feel too. Mm-hmm.
So your progressed Scorpio sun, that is essentially bringing you into the life path 8 energy. Like you're now realizing how good at the management you are, but primarily how you're draining the resource energy of like essentially the research you did in that last company working for, let's just say corporate America. I don't know what you did specifically, but working for corporate America, that's you now draining in a sense the information and knowledge that you got, the research that you've accumulated from that, and you're transmuting that now to actually be useful in the management of your own spiritual business and those practices. So that right there just came to me of like, it's now your time to fully realize the sun progressed in Scorpio, to realize that you are a master at transmuting other people's resources and research. So now you can use the research of however you manage money for others to manage yours.
You want me to blow your mind real quick?
Blow it.
Please.
So we're stepping into the age of Aquarius, natal Cancer rising, 8th house, other people's finances. I worked for the government as an emergency and crisis manager. So divine timing.
Wow.
You did tell me that. You did tell me that.
I remember that too. Wow.
It's like, you know, I've been telling people there's an emergence of spiritual crisis, quite frankly. Like, you know, as people are sitting here having their wake up, quote unquote, process on Earth, you have to also, it's also, I found part of my duty to help remind people among this process and how awesome and exciting it is to people to be having their wake up and it happening at rapid ascension levels, which is really just like convergence levels. I really don't believe there's an ascension. I just believe there's like just a convergence. All of this is happening for a reason. And I like to try to make sure I keep reminding people of this, like among all the fun, the games and how much I love to laugh, it's like on the invisible planes, it is an all out infinite warfare. And it's really bad. Like really strong, powerful people, allies of past lives of mine, they're getting clapped. And so I try to remind people that like, we're not just having these wake up process because of no reason. Like we are all in a recruitment process, quite frankly. Earth is like where we go recruit warriors to go back. You know, we got to send them here, train them up, get them ready to go back to where they're actually from and bring the support with them. Like for whatever reasons, we need the support of this. I don't want to say silly little humans because of the tag we put on this. So I wanted to kind of just really make that mention and say thank y'all to everybody in the chat talking about celebrating you, Queen. Thank you, Missy. The Queens out here being celebrated. I see the men in here connecting, and I've been already stressing that I'm loving the fact seeing more men rise in spirituality and not allowing it to have this dumbass narrative that, oh, it's gay to touch a tarot card or whatever the fuck it is. Doesn't matter. I'm just happy to see men really taking on their role as well and realizing that there's much more sauce to be discovered. So Fatima, I'm gonna definitely connect you and Sharaka on outside of this in case y'all just want to, if y'all want to have a chat. It just feels like y'all might be meeting even before the retreat. I just had that feeling, so I'm gonna make the connection happen.
Okay. Blessings to everybody in the chat. Blessings to you, Pernell. Blessings to you, Sharika. Much love. And yeah, I'll see y'all on the flip.
See you on the flip. Thank you, Fatima. Yo, Sharaka, you want to hit us with the 5th skit?
Actually, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
I do have the other 2, but I want to save those. Those are something special that I want to talk with you offline about. But I want to I wrote a song for my daughter, and I'd like for you guys to hear it. I hadn't really done any music with it or anything. That's why when you said the music part here a minute ago, I was like, oh yeah, like you know, it kind of made me think about it. But she's Aries, and like she loves to praise dance. So this whole concept of praise dancing online and using other people's music is the whole thing. So I write music sometimes just like kind of for my personal energies, not just necessarily to put out to the world. But I wrote this song, and I'd like to let you all hear that just to kind of see, maybe get some feedback and what you all think about it.
Please do.
I wasn't in the choir or anything, so but it is a song, not a rap. Like I kind of do raps too, but okay.
Before you do it, because I know I've been working with you for a while, you already know what I'm going to say. I want to see the Leo. Right now, we're going to throw the Virgo out. The Virgo's there is important, and it brought this together and organized it. But right now, we want to see the Leo rising in. You know what I'm saying? We want that performance. When you do it, if you got to put yourself in character, you got to put on a wig, whatever it is to get into the character. I want to see what I know. I want other people to see the true you, like the one you show me a different way. I want to see that creative character. As I tell everybody to go ahead, like this and thumbs up. And I appreciate you for those thumbs up, and give your full respect to Sharaka. Here we go.
Because I know who I am. I know I'm not my body. I know I'm not my mind. Because I'm manifesting what you do all the time. This is me, I'm free, I can feel it moving inside of me. It's my soul, my spirit right here in this space. It's my place. Open it up, turn it around. It's upside down. Break it out, move it about, 'cause I'm free. This is me.
Ooh.
I can't hold it, I weigh it, my God served me. Can you feel it? It's real, my love, you can feel. Light as a feather, we'll be here forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I was trying to catch a rhythm. I almost wanted to, I started humming with you, and I was like, all right, let me try to get the right rhythm so before I really like jump in on it.
I didn't get to really go over it. Like I went over it a few times with her, but I was working on the choreography with her so that she, you know, when she's doing her praise dance, she can express the words through her dance. So I didn't really just necessarily go through it, but you know, but I was feeling it when I was writing it, and like I feel like, you know, she's breaking free into the world, you know, and she has Down syndrome, so like she has like she wants to speak and say all these things, but like, you know, she's still trying to form the words and stuff. So like, and when I was working with her on the choreography, she's like, yes, and she's like doing all these movements, and I'm like, oh, I love it, give me more. I'm like, yes, that's it. So it's gonna be great, guys. I'm gonna bring and express that for you all, and let you all see her act it out, you know, do her praise dance with it too, with the music.
Absolutely. Ready for it. You know, there's always a magic in the imagination of children, you know, like we gotta keep that alive. That's like Operation A. Like, don't let the spirit of the child die.
With that being said too, let me tell y'all about my son. I was telling you this beforehand. Like he's Sag, and he like never he's got Leo rising too, but he's never really just like really open about stuff. So he's like kind of nonchalant. And when I brought him these skits, he was like, "Oh, mama, this is stupid funny." He was like, "So you've got to put 5 band-aids on your arm and be like, this is for Omarion, and this is for B1 and H2." And I'm just like, oh, so hilarious. And like it sparked like an awakening of ideas within him, to where I could kind of see a little bit of his Leo rising coming out. And I'm just like, wow, you know. And then he's got this Cancer moon in the 12th house, and he's just like I can feel his little emotions. Like I have to really be careful with him, because like I'll say some stuff, and I'm kind of tough. Like I have Mars on the rise, and so you know I might say some shit, and be like, hey, why you gonna be so rude? And I was like, oh, well, I didn't mean anything by it, you know. But you know, it's just how I am. But and he gets kind of hurt by something. Then he's like, but when he seen this, he started expressing and kind of being open. I was like, wow. I was like, yes, oh, I bet we've got to do this, because like I see him opening up more, and you know, and being a part of what I'm doing, and like coming online. So I'm like, oh, this is great. It made me feel so good. And then for him to say that, like I didn't even think about anything like that, but putting 5 band-aids on your arm and then being like, this was for this and that was for that, like, oh crap. Hilarious.
It is a little fun. I'm not gonna lie to you, it is pretty funny. Like the whole five band-aid thing, because it's like it almost started to get to a point where it's becoming a badge of honor, you know? Like I knew that it was off the top when people were getting donuts to get another jab. I was like, what? Like they're giving
I voted, like the whole I voted thing, they got that, and they say, I have my COVID shot. Like, what? Don't put that shit online. But no, thank you guys for putting it online, because now we know who not to be sleeping with and who not to be. I know, I'm sorry. Y'all can get on this good if you had that jab, because we're not trying to mix the races or whatever. Like y'all like a whole nother race. outside, but it's like it's real like that. Like PD said, it's if you get an unbacked sperm. So
The unbacked sperm, that's just high quality. It's high quality.
We need to have
kill it.
sex. I'm not back. I don't have the damn jab. Like really.
Trying to put limitations on the alien DNA. That's way too funny. Because the unbacked sperm comment was the one that got me. When PD said that shit, I was dying, I was dying laughing. Cause I said, we ain't trying to mix races.
Y'all becoming something else. Like after 5 or 6 of them, you're gonna be transmuted for real. You're gonna be all another damn species.
You know what made me laugh about it? It almost was like, when they were like white and black, and how they don't want white black babies, and they would call it mulattoes. So that because a mulatto is like the donkey, meaning it can't have babies anymore. So did you know that? Like if a horse, so if a horse has sex with a donkey, the child is called a mulatto. But mulattoes can no longer reproduce. The line stops there. So black kids and white kids, part of the history, not everybody wanted black and white to mix genetically. Not everybody.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so they call those kids mulattoes. But what no one realized as a part of their history was mulatto was basically saying, we don't want this abomination to continue of the mixing of the races. It was a silent like jab, literally, of like, nope, let's not keep mixing races. So that's kind of what I got when you were
like it was illegal for them to marry and to be dating and stuff. Like it was the whole thing. Like when I went back and like really start, like I didn't go into history. I went into the records of the past. And I think it's important for us to understand that narrative and how it's really a different concept when you see the records of the past and you think about his story, because his story is going to always show him the way he wants to be seen, whoever he is,
his story.
Yeah.
And
we need our story, or my story, the mystery behind this whole concept of what we're seeing. That's what this whole occult knowledge is, it's kind of touted to be mystery or mysticism, and my story is going to be different from his story because I saw things from my perspective. So we really get, a concept of it. We have to check the records of the past so that we can understand what really went on and start to see it from our viewpoint and understand what culture is and understand how it's created, because America, the whole culture and concept of this whole Black thing is been expressed across the world, everywhere. Like we have made the paved the way for everybody. And, everybody's always looking to us to see what to do next or what the next best thing is. That's why it's really important that we take a stand and don't back down for this bullshit that they bring in, because that's what helped the truckers in Canada. That's what's helping the people in Australia and the people like Shanghai. Oh my God, I cannot believe some of the crap they're pulling in Shanghai. And like I never thought about these foreign places like that, but when I started talking with you and you talked about Thailand and some of your experiences there, and just seeing like these other cultures and these other places and how communism has been, this whole, and fascism and like all these different concepts of what we think about, government being, and we think democracy, government of the people. No, it's just like communism. It's just like socialism, like this whole Marxist ideal set. Like it's right. They're throwing a rock and hot in your hand, like they're changing faces every time. And then we sit here in a country that is originally set to be a republic, and we have no idea what these things mean, because we've been thinking, oh, history tells us the truth. No, history tells you his story. And if you check the records of the past, these people didn't set this country up to be like this. That's why when they actually went off of the gold standard, they set it up for the government to be obligated to the people, because we gave them our gold in exchange for this social security number, which is our little passport into this system, which makes us essentially a corporation of our own entity with the all caps name a part of this United States, not the United States of America, but the United States, that 10 square block radius that could easily be wiped off of the map with with a good nuke that wouldn't cause all the extra mess and fallout like Japan, so-called. But, we see these things that are really a narrative that's been expressed to us, but are not true. Because if you go look in the real Constitution, the first one, the things are expressed in a way to let you see that they didn't set it up to be like it is today. These people changed the narrative along the way with a new Constitution in 1871 that says, oh yeah, they can create all the money that they want. They can put a fake government in and make you think that they're really looking out for your best interest, when clearly these people don't even understand what life is to the average person here in America. And seeing all these homeless people and all these encampments going up under freeways in these different states, it's just like, wow. And these people don't even care. They still making policies, and they're talking about what it's like, what the fuck? Like, the people are dying, they're homeless, they're kicking the people out of their house. People are taking over. The government now owns most of the damn houses. Then Bill Gates owns most of the farmlands. Like, we're gonna pay you not to farm. We're gonna stop giving you subsidies if you do farm. And like, what the hell?
I keep telling people, take a trip overseas. Until you do, what you think you know is only what his story has told you. It ain't nowhere close to the story or the narrative you want to live, but you don't even know what you want to live yet because you haven't seen enough outside your boundary. The US is a golden cage, okay? And what I mean by that is like, you have the key, so you don't think you want or need to leave. So you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize that really until I moved to San Diego. I was living there for like a year. And when I moved there, a lot of people I met I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to Thailand. I'm about to go do this thing. Like, would you like to visit me? Yada, yada, yada. Right? I don't know anybody in Asia. And, the consistent was, why would I want to go there? I live in the best place in the world. And it sounded decent before I went to Thailand. I was like, yeah, San Diego was pretty fucking cool. I'm like, I like living here. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's pretty dope. Like, Mitt Romney was my neighbor. It made me feel rich. I'm like, I ain't got Mitt Romney money, but it made me feel like I was rich as fuck.
Right.
He lives down the street from me. Hell yeah, P, go ahead. But it's like, now I get off land and I'm like, that's fucking dumb. It's like the amount that you would even pay, and then you pay an eighth of the price and you get so much more, and it's just so much better. This mosquito is annoying. Yeah, whatever. Let me check the comments, and as we move you to your next skit, thank y'all for those thumbs up. If you want to check that live, I just dropped it. Everything that she was just talking about, the power moves with Pluto and Capricorn. This is Sharaka Mitter. We did a live on this, so I have the link there. You should definitely check it out. Fatima said that she's definitely going to have an offline chat with you. Based off of the last discussion that you went off on. I see Sir Mito talking about planting your own veggies. You don't have to worry. Absolutely. Farming, these crafts of agriculture and buying fertile land to do that is very important for the next steps. I'm going to go watch the last line. And they want you to know, they want you to put the vax in the food. Wow. This is right. Next level. Wow. Got to go, but I enjoyed it. Hey, look, I catch you, Earl. I see you in CT. I thank you for being here. Sharaka, hit us with your next skit.
I'm not going to do the next.
Oh, because you said you really, okay.
But I do want to speak on something when you just spoke about the land and farming. I think it's important that we know what it takes to change this whole external narrative that we see when it comes to food. When you're gardening, and this probably sounds kind of crazy, but pee on your soil because it gives the soil that pH level that you have in your body so that it can actually grow food that's for you. Because if the cows dung and they pee on the ground, then you're eating food that's made for them, in which when you eat a burger, it's a regurgitated concept of food because they have eaten and consumed something that has become them, from their external environment, and then you eat it. So it's like secondhand groceries, like, already been chewed gum, ABC gum type thing. Like,
so it's where they got the idea to genetically modify foods in the first place.
exactly. And if you eat the food that was kissed by the sunlight, that fresh fruit that falls from the tree, because you don't even necessarily have to pick these fruits from these trees. They will fall when they're ripe and they're ready. Just like the apple that hit Homeboy on the head, it made him think that gravity was really a thing like that. Like, it's a whole thing, and it's really important that we do go back to eating the food that was kissed by the sunlight, and not secondhand food, because the cows ate the grass that was kissed by the sunlight. Then we eat this big juicy burger and it's all dripping with this blood. It's like, who wants their damn burger raw, like a rare? Like, I'm like, what's the pink meat in the middle? No, cook that more. My kids can't eat that. And like, I don't eat it all.
Which would explain as well why my body would take so much more work and heat me up so hot to have to break down, whatever that meat actually was. If I'm being honest, I don't know what the meat was, because it's fucking Spanish. So it's like picadillo. I don't know what picadillo really is. Like, I just don't. But it's something, it's a meat for sure. And my body would take, and it makes a lot of sense. Like, if it's not genetically lined up with my own personal, I'm going to say alien DNA coding, then it's like, and this is why I feel like breatharians have been able to live and survive. Mind you, there are people that can live only off the breath. And this is connecting what to more of your, let's say, spiritual DNA. Okay. Something that is not genetically modified. The breath can bring me closer to spirit, which is me, which is you. So it's like, that really makes a lot of sense off the rip of, even people taking in their blood type and trying to eat foods based off their blood type. I don't know maybe some facts about that you would like to share, but.
Well, I do what is maybe a concept of intermittent fasting, because I don't, like, to me, food is overrated. Like, I'm sick of seeing another restaurant. It's almost like we've become such consumers that it's just like a need to consume something. So when it comes to food, because now we've got all these different processes that we take the food through to make them taste this way and taste that way. Like, when it comes to being a chef, like, my boyfriend's a chef, and like, when he came here, he's like, he almost was like, I can't even express my passion, because I'm just like, oh, no, that's gotta go. Like, leave that. No, what is that? Like, because meat, it just kind of unnerves me sometimes. Like, I don't see any veins. And then and I'm like, well, yeah, my kids are eating it. I'm not eating it, but it's important for me to help them, grow and to understand what's really going on. So now my son, he's like, oh, no, I don't want any eggs, Mom, because that's going to be a little baby chicken. And then so he's like feeling bad about it. I'm like, oh, I feel bad. My daughter, she going hard on everything. And I'm like, Shara, look, baby, we can't eat this. This stuff is bad. Like, this was causing the problems that we're having. And we think about a lot of the things that we have go on inside of our body.
Isn't the eggs that we eat the period of a chicken?
It's like, and then you think about it, if it stays where it is and we don't bother it, it will become a baby chicken.
Yeah, sounds like there's a reason that we get mucus when you eat eggs.
Do you hear me? Thank you. And then the milk, if you really knew what it looked like beforehand, you wouldn't touch it. I'm not with that. I don't mess around.
I didn't even drink milk as a kid, yo. You could not get me to eat cereal as a child. My mom was telling me I would only eat a hot breakfast, which ultimately consisted of oatmeal.
Because I've got dental issues, because I literally, I can't drink milk. Even when I was a kid and as a baby, I had to have particular formula. And I'm like, Mama, could you not have stop partying to breastfeed me? She like, girl, nah, hell nah, you suck it on my titty one time, hell, it hurt so bad, girl, shit, you was gonna starve to death. I was like, well, damn, I could try to pump some milk or something. She was like, girl, you ain't want what I had in my system. Hell, I was drunk when I went to the hospital. I'm like, God damn, like that. But my mom comes from the generation of the people who were partying a little too much. So when you think about it, and then you think about the concept of all these vaccines that we've been taking that, you know, at birth, they give the kids vaccines and then get them at 4 and 12 and 16. And like, it's the whole thing, like a whole lineup of shots that these people are put. And they start out with bat pus and like cow pus. Like literally, this is what the base of the vaccines are. And it's like, why in the hell would you put this in your body? You don't even know what's in that valve that they're sticking in you. So you're just gonna let them stick this syringe in your arm. You don't know what's in there, and you cool with it. Like it's kind of questionable. And when you start to,
I love the simplicity. And you cool with it? You cool with it? Listen, we have Majin Accent. He actually was live with me the other day doing an AstroTherapy session. So shout out, thank you to you. And it was like, what does your diet look like? Honestly, like on my most consistent, I'm starting off with a frying pan in the morning. I'm chopping up some very thin slices of ginger and coconut oil. I begin the frying of it. I drop dry oatmeal on top, and then I drop a soy or a fucking almond milk, and I pretty much turn it on low or off, and I let it cook. Cinnamon, nutmeg, honey, and then sometimes I'll add the maca in the mix, or I'll do it after. And so I that's literally like my happiest start. And I don't really need a lot more after that for the day. Everything that I generally eat after that is just because of a desire, if I'm being honest. It's not really mostly because of a need. I usually top it off with like some coconut flakes, maca powder, spirulina, and some arándanos, and I always either have right now like strawberries and mangoes has been my thing. I've been strawberry mangoes in my, or banana because it's so quick and it's also like always there for some reason, or blueberries. Always just trying at least 2 different fruits. So that's like my base breakfast almost every day, you know, where anything outside of that is me like trying to do something different on purpose. But my body is usually most happy. I'm functioning at a very high rate, a very high level. Because I mean, I'm dealing with people from so many different time zones around the world. Like my WhatsApp be, there's never, like right now, I think there's fucking 11 messages in there and it's bonkers. Like, it's like, it just sits and things just keep, it always piles up. And I like it because, you know, I'm meeting really cool people around the world. But what I'm saying is I don't have the time to be lethargic and tired because I'm eating. So the oatmeal really sits well for me. Middle of the day, like across the street, I could literally show you right now across the street. Whole line of food trucks. Let me see what's happening. Whole line. Say hello to my plant who wants to get hydrated. So that little guy right over there, that Hugo's, you see that? That's just straight juice. I mean, all of these are food trucks, so they all got something. But ultimately, like it's straight juice. Y'all probably see the joint on the window ledge. It's just sitting there waiting for me whenever it's ready. And then what's up?
One thing I noticed, as I've like awakened to the concept of spirituality in and of itself, like the whole like all around concept of spirituality, because like I've been studying astrology for a while now, and like, but I'm a student of all disciplines. Like I love all disciplines. Like when it's knowledge time, I'm just like, oh yeah, give me the page, give me my notebook. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm ready to learn. But like literally, I'll eat oatmeal for breakfast and a smoothie for lunch. And really by nighttime, if I could just sit back with a bag of grapes, I would be great. Like it's no problem for me. Now, outside of like literally the whole concept of the intermittent fasting, if I've got my water that I've blessed, that I've actually spoken to, I'm good. Like I don't even have the desire for food like that, especially with what I've learned. Like once I start like coming to awareness of what's going on, food became like a distant neighbor, a distant cousin to me, because I'm just like, I don't even need it. And like I'm eating like rolled oats for oatmeal for breakfast, and it really holds me good throughout the better part of the day. And then when I have my smoothie, and then like I make a mad smoothie, guys. Like, oh, when I come there to Mexico, I'm gonna have to talk to Jessica so you know we can get us some smoothie things going on, because like smoothies would really serve us a lot better and not like Wall-E and be eating the bodies of the people that were
Because
dying.
it's not harsh. It's not harsh to digest. When you talk food, I don't know if many people know this about my earlier stages of life, but like I studied in university as a physiologist, primarily on the human body. And so, you know, a lot of my clients were in the physical fitness space or hospitals who have heart diseases and diabetes or dyslipidemia, it's just like fat overload, like lipids and shit like that. You know, so I say this to say, like, on the background, a lot of what this is, people would try to used to always take a diet or change their diet, but they wouldn't necessarily pair it with movement or exercise. And I can tell you scientifically that this is proven, and it's the easiest way that I've been able to help people from a physical standpoint transform their body, which the physical for me was helping them to have more access to their spiritual body, okay, to their emotional body. But if your physical body has ailments and is blocked, you have less access to your actual spiritual power, whatever that is, premonition, all that shit. Food fucks you up in your sleep, okay? Like, you have to understand, like, it fucks up your sleep cycle. It doesn't allow you to hit the theta and the delta waves that really allow you to rest and dream and have your imagination play roles and have your dreams not be dreams that you forget, but to be prophecies that you wake up writing like a fucking madman and you realize, oh my God, like I just watched this whole fucking future event play out. Right. And so food blocks a lot of that. So don't eat, for starters, too close to bed. Uranus and Taurus is really here and it's rocking shit on what we feel like we have and what we feel like we need in the sense of how we fuel and what we value for fueling our body. Ultimately, what you're going to realize is you're going to value fueling your body in a more spiritual way. Why? Because 4 planets are in Pisces, especially while we're going through a new 6-month cycle, manifestation cycle of this solar eclipse in Taurus. The body, we're now taking the more spiritual approach of what foods will help our spirit elevate, transcendent consciousness, okay, of what is and what isn't possible, which only is backed by faith. But food is one of the main blocks that does not allow us to have access to it. So when somebody said, hey, what's up? So when somebody said about the food diet, understand that you have your own journey of how you shift and do the food changes. One of the best, in my personal opinion, is just fruit. I mean, it gives you the natural sugar that keeps your blood levels, let's just say, charged and isolated enough to work and transport the nutrients that you do need to go to the right spots. And it's also not heavy on your digestive system. The heavier the food that you eat, that your body has to take time to digest, understand there's something called a basal metabolic rate, BMR. Mm-hmm. And you can only digest, like for your body type, like you might only digest 100 calories an hour. Okay, if you look at the meal, you go to McDonald's, you eat one fucking burger without the fries, and it's 1,400 calories. So what is that saying? To digest that one burger, it takes you 14 hours at only 100 calories an hour, which means what? You never, ever, ever digest anything. You and only get bigger.
That comes out. All the food you eat, and you think about what comes out in your poop. Like, you didn't poop out all you ate. Like, and like, we really, like, that's why I said sometimes it takes really just thinking a little deeper into these things. And I'm actually working on, I'm working on 2 journals that I think really speak to this whole concept of the food thing and the concept of understanding how we're connected to our moon, like in a deeper sense, in order to manifest. So with the food journal, like going through fruit and vegetables to start off the race and then to stabilize the race with the vegetables. There's a process that you go through with the solid fruits, over to smoothies, over to fruit juice, to just water, and then back up that chain, then go to the vegetables to stabilize it back out. Because these things actually work a process in our body the way we're consuming them, but your body needs to do one thing at a time. When you think that the foods that we eat got all these seasonings and all this and that, and it's too much for your body to even recognize. So it sends other things haywire. So our systems aren't even really online fully to recognize what's going on in daily life. That's why people are so silly. Like, like we really start missing, the real point of things when we eat all this stuff that's got so many dang ingredients. Like your body don't even know what the hell you just ate. It's got all the seasonings, all the sauces, and talking about a salad, and you just going crazy.
Oh my God, that's the funny one. You get the salad and it has more shit and it's so much unhealthier than the damn burger. Like, it's like, oh my God, how did you do that? How did you manage to fuck that up so bad?
Right, and then a load of dressing. So it's just like, well, just blow the top off of it and shit. You don't need no diarrhea.
Yeah. And it's like, oh man, they got us on the food thing. And it's really a critical piece. I really, quite frankly, believe in everyone's personal spiritual journey is to learn for yourself what does having food in order look like for you. And that's gonna be different. For me, it literally looks like living out of the country in places where I can get a watermelon that has fucking seeds in it. Okay, that's what it looks like for me. I need my watermelon to have seeds.
Make seeds, right?
If I eat my kiwi, I'm eating the kiwi with the skin to get away from, oh no, like who eats the furry part of the kiwi? It's like, actually that shit's banging and that's where all the nutrients are at. So, for me, it also, I mean, I'm a health nut in my own ways where I have now, ironically, and I got this for my birthday. Yeah, I might have saw the pinata video. I've been eating candies. Mexican candy is banging. I remember penny candies. Remember penny candies when you go to the corner store? You had the little glass.
I got candy. I was a candy junkie. Like, that's why I have
my God.
issues that I have, because like people would come by and they'd be like, oh, here's $1. Because for some reason I had this whole pity party that would come by and visit us. They're like, oh, your mom and your dad they left you with your grandparents. Here's $1. And I'm just like, it's a damn little bucket out here or something. But the candy store is right across the street. So, I went crazy on candy as a kid. I ate so much candy. Oh, Lord.
Thankfully, I didn't overeat. I think my mom kind of like really didn't, she kind of blocked that. She was a Virgo rising. So she had her own way of like filtering through. I didn't really eat a tremendous amount of candy unless I was out of the house and I went to like my cousins or like my grandparents. And then I get to go to the hood and get the hood candy.
My grandparents, and the candy store is right across the street too. Grandma, she was at work. Granddaddy, he on the porch drinking and listening to blues, baby. I was like, hey, the blues is all right. I could go and give him a pack of cigarettes at the store when I was a little kid. He was like right across the street and they knew I was rich. So I'm like, some of the stuff that we experienced was really crazy in our childhood. And it felt normal. I had to tell my daughter yesterday. She was like, when is stuff going to go back to normal? I'm tired of quarantine. I'm like, baby, that wasn't normal what we were just experiencing before. And this whole thing has really like make people understand what it means to stay 6 feet the fuck back at the grocery store while y'all on my neck, and when I'm up here putting my card in, you up here like you about to check out my shit. Like, where you at? Wait, what you doing? Get back, you're not with me. You come to the store with me. Like, people are too close now, like to a point where you need this distance thing a little bit. Like, hey, step back a little bit, and be respectful of other people's. And like when I was in the military, it was 40 inches all around. Like, give me 40 inches, give me an arm length space around, and like even for exercising, when you're exercising with other people, you need that space, so you can move your arms and move your legs. You know what I'm saying? You need your own little space. And if people could stay out of that area, we can be okay. Because I'm not touchy feely. Like, some people just all touchy, like, what they touch me for? Like, but and I get it. So like, I try not to be all like, I'm all something like, but I'm like, don't touch me like that. Like, if you touch me and I feel uncomfortable and then you just keep on doing it, like, I did not invite that. Could you please not touch me again?
I ain't gonna lie. I had to learn this about my Jupiter and Leo, where like these past lives of royalty. I never really realized that like everybody cannot touch me. Like I freak out like quick fast. Like it's almost like, but it has this feeling of like you can't touch a king without like you just don't do that. Like you don't know me, you don't just touch me like that. What's wrong with you?
Like, touch your hair. No, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, why would you touch my hair? That's crazy shit.
Yo, and it's funny because I used to have these moments and it'd be like off with his head, and it's like, well, where did I get that from? It's like, damn, I really took some people out for doing something so disrespectful at a point in my life. One of these life
had me lit on the rise, and oh man, I'd be about to pop off on people all the time, and I'm like, Sharaka, calm down. Like, it's not that serious. I have to talk myself down sometimes because I'm like, I'm about to go the fuck out. I'm like, if they knew what I was saying in my head, they would not be doing that? Like, I'm tripping away. But like the whole concept of Leo rising, like I'm starting to step into awareness of, especially with Mars there, because it gets this whole power play thing. And it's like, man, but then it's like it gets in my head. So I'm just like, in my head, I got this whole narrative going on, like, man, I'm about to blow up. Like, and I'm just like, calm down, Sharaka, calm down. I guess that's a Virgo, that diplomatic side, you know, in the third house, like.
Nah, it's your Libras. Your Libras are the sleepers.
Oh yeah, and see that's why I've got in the third house, that whole Libra stellium. So it's like Pluto and Saturn, like battling with, because Mercury sits in the middle of Pluto and Saturn, and then like Pluto's at the end, like right there next, and then Venus comes right after Pluto. So it really, Venus is actually sitting there in Libra too. So it's just kind of like this whole bunch. It's like a 5-planet stellium, and it's just like, you know, it's so diplomatic, and like I'm trying to be fair, and I'm trying to be just, and I'm trying to be honest, and like if I really said what I wanted to, this shit wouldn't even exist. This whole plane would probably be like, all this shit out of here, because Pisces just gonna like take it all the way out, like, because you know, this ain't even real, like y'all tripping. Like,
You just gave us a whole life skit scenario of like, that was cool. I got a whole image. So here's what we're gonna do. I actually, one, I gotta buy my flights. Two, I gotta go get the paperwork to actually get into the US, aka this whole part. I gotta tell them that I'm clean. I can come in. So these are my next steps.
Jet too.
Huh?
We gotta get our private jets, because this whole.
Oh, we got them. I know some of my friends got jets somewhere.
Cause like we literally got to stop riding on their planes and stop riding like this. We need to stop using their shit altogether, because we our own nation now. We about to take over some shit. We need airspace, and we need
I said we need airspace. I feel you on that though. That's real talk. I need airspace. I can hear about Pluto all day. Sharaka, I want to definitely get you for these next two skits when the time comes. The alternative Rona of laughter. Thank you for putting this together. Definitely, y'all that are still here, give her the applause. Give her the snap of fingers, because she came out here and she actually had a moment to sing. You know, she had a moment to play out that rap. You know, find a way to bring a relief from suffering on everything. Rona, the jab, and doing it through comedy. So, you know, I want all of y'all to take this with some sort of a grain of salt. Hey, I need dust filters for Hoovermax Pressure Pro Model 60. Yeah, y'all be.
You know what? You can make your own filters with activated charcoal. I actually made some masks for the people at the Kroger's because when I went there and they had these dirty masks that were dirty like their little dirty bras, I wanted to bring them some bras too, because I'm like, people need to think about these dirty ass masks they get on their face. If you wore the mask enough times for it to be thrown in the trash, throw it away. It's not helping if it's dirty. Like, what are we doing here? But I made some masks and I used the activated charcoal to make filters for the inside of it. So you can actually make your own filters. You may want to do a little research, but you know, on containing that filter part with the activated charcoal, but definitely do that.
Man, I mean, in all sincerity, like for the last 2.5 or however long this started, I mean, I could pretty much count both my hands how many times that mask has touched my face. I mean, in all sincerity, it just doesn't touch. I don't like it.
I'm in my house and I don't need a damn mask in my house. Who gonna come up here talking about why you got your mask on? Like, that's what the skits kind of was like, why the hell you got the mask on in the house?
I can't even stump. People just had to look at me in the world. I remember when I first started getting back on planes, they were just like, what is wrong with this guy? Like, what? I was like, but I mean, like I told you, I mean, I was in Wuhan, China when this first thing went out. I was in Italy at the beginning there when people didn't have masks yet, and we're just people were just walking on the train like this. People just hearing news, but it didn't hit the globe yet, right? And so, you know, for me, it's like I was really with it from Jump Street on Outbreak in December in China. I was in it in February.
I'm glad you got out of there, man, because the shit they doing in Shanghai, I can only imagine like the countrysides of China. Oh my gosh.
And it's really, I can't even stop. It's been like that. I mean, you know, world news is starting to catch up on a little bit. We got to remember that there's 1 billion people there. You know, no one's really going to understand what you can't manage 1 billion people by being nice to everybody. That's a starter. Like, did anybody just consider that? Like,
you don't keep our circle small, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't give 1 billion people free will and think that it's just going to work out for your government to be so powerful. It doesn't work. That there's control, there's concentration camps, you know, they got 1-child rule. It's like there's a lot of control in those scenarios. So definitely send your blessings and your love out to all the people in the world suffering. One of the guys said you can actually buy airspace. He said it's very expensive, but you can buy it. So thank you, Infernal Grapher.
We taking it.
Just give me that shit. That's how I feel on it. It's like, I gotta buy it. What?
Power respects power. We don't respect this. We asking for shit, we taking it because we own it.
You know, this reminds me of it. I'm gonna see if I can find it on here. I was living in Bali and I went to a volcano one time. And when I tell you, I'm looking for the video right now. PernellBobby, Bali. And I went to a volcano and they were trying to, Bali workout tribe. Okay, bang, life in Bali. And it says trouble. All right, I'm gonna press copy paste. Literally, I put this up 2 years ago. No one has ever saw it, but you wanna start really seeing what it's like being on the world and what she kind of said. They were trying to make me pay to go onto this mountain. I'm like, yo, it's a volcano. And they were like, nah, you gotta go over there. I'm like, all the tourists over there. And I didn't come with a tourist group. I just pulled up on my own bike. I had a motorbike and I pulled up on it. And that altercation turned into, you know, literally, I'm not fucking with you either. About 100 plus, this is like village, tribe. Like this is like 2.5 hours away from all things civilization. These people own this area. There's no law. They are the law. And so I say that where it's funny. It's not allowing me to share. It's like, it just froze, literally. That's mad funny. But it kind of plays back into what Sharaka was just saying. It was like, I'm not about to pay to go walk this volcano, bro. Like, this is a natural resource. Like, this is just not happening. Like, it's literally not happening. I'm going to walk my ass up that volcano. But that at the same time, you know, I can't even stunt. It did turn into a very scary scenario pretty quickly because I'm on an island, okay, with tribal people. I got family. I'm in Asia. My family's back in the US. Like, honestly, I could have just got buried if I'm being real, you know? And it tried to I swear that was like the next step. But, you know, Spirit had my back in a different way and sent me some Europeans and they actually saved me, even though they didn't want to. They actually pretended they didn't know me, but I was like, help! Literally, first time I think I ever yelled out loud for help, like a little bitch, because I'm telling you, I was about to get my shit mob tied. It was just that simple. I see you, Majid. But that said, I'm about to get ready to make this next move as well. And I want to say thank you for sharing your energy, your creative talents today, Sharaka. I'm gonna connect you with Fatima if she's still here or not. I'm gonna send you her number, her contact, vice versa. And I really hope that both of you get to meet here in Mexico.
Most definitely. See you guys later.
Ciao, I'll see you soon.